We've had so many pauses, so many long games. Eventually we'll be through this. Alright, so we're getting back into this one. Hopefully we don't have too many pauses here. Game number 3, winner, grand final. I mean, that's basically the stakes here. Again, I really like what Canton have going for themselves. I mean, Bane, Ursa, already a very good combo, and then you add Alina into that as well. Very easy setup after the Nightmare for an LSA. But then, I mean, you throw the Monkey King into the equation. I mean, he's a tree. I mean, how do you beat a tree? And why do you think that Tree and Protector is banned out all the time? Canton High School, they're getting aggressive onto the Power Friendship side of the map over here. Getting the bounty rune for Will for Zoom most likely. I don't think Satur can run into this one. Nightmare is available, and yep, he's just gonna get that put on him. Oh, there's a skewer through, and it's gonna take him away from the rune spot. Bit unfortunate from Gigan, didn't hit anything with that, and that's going to allow Canton High School to pick up 3 of the bounty runes. Just taking advantage of the fact that Magnus isn't going to be hugely useful in the early game, and also he's gone skewer first, so he's not going to have his empower to get some easy last hits to start, which generally is, I mean, generally you would want to get skewer early in the offlane, especially if you think you're going to be under a lot of pressure. But he definitely is going to have some difficulties getting some last hits in this lane, which already he's being forced out from the Ursa. He's going to have a really difficult time. I mean, generally the way that one goes is just Nightmare into Earthshock, and then, I mean, at least Magnus can skewer away, but that's already very difficult to try to play against, especially if the skewer is down or you're running out of mana or something like that. Over at bottom, Enough is going to be the one playing the Legion Commander this time around. Slowed down by the dual breaths. Max is going to be chasing him down, and that's actually going to be their first blood. Or not. Not going to be your first blood. Manages to get the Fairy Fire, and he'll salve up all the way up to full. Now does have 3 of the, I'm going to have to look this up, 3 of the Jingu stacks on him. Alright. Bane just keeping Gigan away from here. And one thing that the Magnus does know is that PMA doesn't have the Brain Sap. Still at level 1. There's going to be the Nightmare. What exactly can they do after this one? They can do some... Oh, well, they can do that. They can miss the auto attack. Meanwhile, at bottom, ODB nearly killed off Enough, trying to chase him down. And he does get the first blood. Wow, what a play by him. Conkle turns it around and manages to get the return. But nice play by Legion Commander to pick that up. I mean, she was nearly first blooded earlier, and manages to pick it up himself. Over at top, Gigan's going to chase down PMA. You know, he doesn't have the Empower again. Over a level into the Shockwave, which again is pretty normal. He wants to get a couple of last hits in this lane. Gigan will try to back up. I mean, they don't have... Warlock's not really the best hero to pair up with that. You would generally want to put some kind of stun after the Nightmare. Something like a Leshrac. I mean, Warlock's a good hero, but in terms of pairing up with a Bane, is not the best. But Bane Ursa should be fine. Bane's having a really difficult time trying to do any damage to Gigan. And they might be looking for the... Okay, he skewers out. If you can get the Nightmare during the skewer, I mean, that's probably best case scenario, honestly. That's probably a Magnus kill if you get that. Ursa actually leveling up. He's gone 1 into everything. Warlock is here to help out the Legion Commander, which is kind of a broken lane. But he might actually start feeding here. Dual Breath, he's going to be helped out by the press the attack, but there's that big long stick of the Wukong. The Boundless Strike. There's Jingu. Okay. Lots of damage out on the naps. Slowed down a little bit by the dual breath once again. But this game seems a lot closer in terms of last hits. Ursa's at the top of it. And then you've got Zaturk on the other side. Meanwhile, over at top, Magnus tries to screw around, but he's not going to be able to make it out as PMA picks up that kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Back off.
In terms of the mid matchup, Jericho is slightly behind Zaturk. Zaturk, again, has been doing really well in nearly every single game. Has been dominating the mid lane. No, this one isn't as bad as the other matchups. Taking a look at the build, it's going to be 3 in the refraction, 1 in the side blades. Lena's definitely going to have to be making an effort to take out those refractions pretty quickly. Oh, Conkle. It is nighttime. He's moving pretty quickly, but he's a little bit more in that. Oh, no. What? What? Sorry, guys. I don't know what my computer is doing, but it decided that I didn't need to look at the Dota game, which, unfortunately, I've been having some frame issues when I play in... Alright, it disconnected me. Cool. I've been having some frame issues when I go into exclusive full screen or whatever the heck that is. It gives me like random drops. So hopefully we didn't miss too much. No, we did. Zaturk died. Oh well. Over at bottom, Naps could be in some trouble again. Here comes Smacks up to the trees. He's going to jump on top of him. And the healing is there. The healing's pretty good, but eventually Smacks has more than enough damage to get that kill. And now with the Giga Mastery, they might find the kill onto enough. Yep, they do. Double kill for Smacks. So Zaturk might have died, but Smacks at least got a couple of kills. So sorry about that issue with the screen, guys. I can't really... Like, when it decides to tab out for no damn reason, I can't really do anything about that. And it takes a while. So I wish I could fix that issue, but I don't really know what to do with that. It's just really annoying. It gives me random frame drops when it's in the mode that I used to have it. We'll get the last hits up for you guys again. Lena has made her way over towards bottom. Does have the Laguna Blade available. I think Smacks knows about it to some extent. Knows at least that the Lena is missing, so he's sitting in the trees right now. Lena's going to make her way back towards mid. Maybe put some pressure onto Zaturk in between his refraction charges. He's got full levels into refraction right now, though, so things might be a little bit more difficult than they want them to be. Sentry Ward in mid allows Lena to get rid of the side traps, the psionic traps. It's a cool LSA animation. Over at top, Magnus is in trouble again. With the Enrage from Ursa, I mean, it's just so easy to take down Mag. I don't even... Yeah, he had no mana to try to get away with the Skewer. Sorry, I'm just looking at my beautiful production value. My delay on stream is 2 minutes and 30, so it just came up where the tabbing out occurred. In any case, I mean, Smacks has been farming up pretty okay. Zaturk, of course, is beating him. Zaturk is just extremely good at the mid lane and farming. He's been really putting a beating onto the Lena in terms of farm. If we look at the net worth for now, we do have Smacks at the top of it with those 2 kills that he got. Enough, we'll be chasing Konko a little bit here. Doing a little bit of damage over to him, but Smacks Might be willing to go on to him a little bit. Jericho is in the trees. So again, they have to be very careful here. Over top, Gagan could be in some trouble as well. Those two heroes make their way away from bottom. They're just so afraid of the Lina being off the map.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But she's going back towards mid, which the Turk has been using this opportunity to keep farming, to keep putting pressure onto the tier 1 tower, making it so difficult and punishing every single time the Lina gets off the lane. The Turk is just farming so well. One thing that he hasn't been doing is stacking up the Ancients. He has not, well, there is a stack over here, but there hasn't been a whole lot of stacking. So the Turk's progression through his build, through his Desolator, through his Blink Dagger, whichever one ends up coming up first, might be a little bit slower than you would see for some pro teams that are a little bit more coordinated in terms of the stacking. One of the reasons why Templar Assassin is such a strong hero. She can also go and stack for herself because you're going to be... man, that's just so good from Zaturk. He was denying and getting the last hits on his own creep, or on his creeps at the same time. He's just such a strong player, man. Using those side blades as much as possible. Double damage rune for him. This might allow him to get the stack off pretty easily, but he's going to get the invis rune and has the double damage rune bottled. Now, most of this is scoured out by Naps, who has still been left alone over at bottom. They might decide to dive this pretty hard, but he's going to make his way back. And there's a lot of heroes over at mid, but nobody there on the Radiant side. Eventually, Templar Assassin does get back. Gagan moving over. Wilfer Zoo, they're looking for anybody right now. That should be a pretty dead Magnus. Why do I have the shop? Okay. I just clipped on the shopkeeper, I guess. Well, in any case, first duel of the game is going to go to the Legion Commander. Enough gets the kill with the help of Ursa. And you see the reasons why this lineup works pretty well for Canton. It just synergizes really well. You get the Nightmare, you get a huge amount of damage from Ursa, and you set up pretty easy duels as well. The Turk using the double damage rune to kill off the Ancients here. Getting a lot of farm from it, pretty well on his way towards the Blink Dagger. Lina's still farming pretty well, but the Templar Assassin pretty much a whole level ahead of her once Lina picks up a little bit of XP for level 10. You can see that Zaturk has gone for the extra attack speed. Pretty standard on the Templar Assassin, since you really do have more than enough... Yeah, you have more than enough movement speed. Not going to help you out too much. A little bit of damage onto the tower. LSA is going to miss. Just off the mark onto the TA. LSA, TSA. There's so many abbreviations in the world. The Turk ready to go over towards the rune. Uses the psionic trap. LSA does hit, but Lina decides that she doesn't want to go for that rune anymore. It's just over. It's over for them. Still, these teams are pretty close. Templar Assassin nearly at her Blink Dagger. And it's starting to get levels into Meld. Hasn't really put a whole lot of... How the heck is this stream been going on for 4 hours? What is wrong with the world? This was supposed to be a best of 3. This is ridiculous. These games are going so long. In any case, the Turk uses the Meld Strike to try to get away from the Nightmare, but there's the first Fiend's Grip of the game, trying to just burst down Templar Assassin, and she gets another refraction off, but the damage should be there. Yeah, they eventually get it, but there's the RP out onto freaking everybody. But they turn around again with a chaotic offering, and Canton are just way too strong. Konko's trying to get around the side, but Wilferzu is going to find him another. Urshak is going to be there. Konko's trying to get out. He's going to try to slow down Wilferzu right now, but enough is going to be there to maybe get the... Nope, there was a duel available, but isn't going to get it. And Canton High School, I mean, it was a beautiful RP from Power of Friendship, but Canton High School just way too strong with the counter initiation from the chaotic offering, and that secures him a tier 1 tower. And And they'll go right for Roshan. It's what the Ursa rather allows you to do. He's got phase boots, Vladimir's offering, and then the blink dagger queued up for him. Meanwhile, in mid, Bane's probably going to end up going down here. Upheaval gets used by Warlock, but it really doesn't help them out too much. Meanwhile, though, Roshan's dead. That golem is still walking around with a vengeance. Invis rune used by the Lina as Ursa goes to the high ground. He's going to go back towards bottom, where currently Legion Mender actually ends up getting killed by Smax. Starts to use Wukong's command there, but cancels it before it ends up getting used. So still, I think both teams have some good abilities here to break open the game. You got a Blink Dagger on Templar Assassins. The Turk has been farming really well to start out this game, but Ursa's starting to get up there as well. Blink Dagger picked up for him and an Aegis. We'll probably see a lot of Aegises claimed in this match. Conkle still moving around the map. He's got his phase boots and 2 levels into Hunter of the Night. Now that was changed a little bit ago, where he has flying movement for 2 seconds at night. You can activate it. It's a pretty cool ability. Traverse a little bit better. We've got a couple of heroes that can move like flying characters. You got Smax in the trees. Got Night Stalker using that Hunter in the Night passive with now an active ability. It's unfortunate that the 2 seconds doesn't scale at all though. It's just 2 seconds the whole way around. PMA Dota, look at this. He's just smoked over to the side. Doesn't even see that Jakiro is farming. He actually could just run over, get a Fiend's Grip, and probably get the kill right away, but just a little bit out of vision there, just because of the nighttime. Tyrion Tower should probably fall here at bottom. Wilferzu putting a lot of pressure onto it, taking out the creep wave, cutting it, and yeah, he will take the tower there. Nothing in return from Power of Friendship. Again, I really do like this lineup from Canton, but there have to be a couple of items that Power of Friendship can pick up to try to stop this roll. Blink Tiger, I guess, could be picked up by Bane. And Ursa, see what his next item is going to be. Lina now has her Bloodstone, I believe. Yeah, she's got a Bloodstone. I mean, this could be where Canton High School start to lift off a little bit. Wukong seems to be getting the Shadow Blade. I'm interested to see what this build ends up being. Perhaps Max thinks that he's playing Slark. It's a very similar build to him. The Turk will have his Desolator soon, and there's also the Magnus Blink. They might try to use it here. There's the Darkness used, and oh, enough might be walking into a really big trap. Blink forward, there's the duel. They're going right for it. Gingen's going to walk in, has the RP already used. Wukong's command comes out as Wilferzu just has to get out of it. The Turk to the backside, that's a lot of damage that Wilferzu is going to have to go through. That's the Aegis pop. Meanwhile, Jericho is going right for ODB on the backside, and they have to get a little bit further. Chaos offering is slowing down the Warlock so much. Nightmare out on the Monkey King, and there's going to be a Fiend's Grip on him as well. Nobody's died yet on Canton High School. They're going to use the overwhelming odds to take down the Magnus there, and look at that. Such a dominant fight from Canton High School. I don't think that we're going to be seeing an 88-minute game this time around. That tower is going to be melted. A tier 2 tower so early into the game. That's not really something that this series has seen at all. Canton High School is just so good. Using that Aegis on Ursa, Power Friendship had to use a lot to try to get that kill, and eventually they did, but it was only onto an Aegis. So Canton High School pick up a tier 2 tower just 18 minutes into the game, and they're looking like they want to try to take a little bit more out of top as well. So they'll be taking the tier 1 tower here. The Turk is still farming quite well, but now the Ursa has passed him in terms of net worth, and He just very desperately has to get it to his Desolator. He needs just that boost in damage, but his towers and map control is going to make things really difficult for him in the future. Now, Power Friendship do have some good high ground, but they need their ultimates to be up, and with the Wukong's command and the RP both being down, it could be difficult. Tier 2 tower in the top lane will fall. Canton High School taking all of these towers away from Power Friendship, making it difficult to keep up the map control. And enough will go over towards bottom, where Smax is kind of already waiting, but there's only so much he can do. Over in the mid lanes, the Turk has to get away from this right now. Nap still has the Chaotic Offering, but I doubt they want to drop it for that one. Over at the top lane, Wilferzu, he's gotten quite low, and he's been silenced. He's trying to TP out. He's not going to make it. And so Turk manages to find a kill over in the mid lane on the PMA before that Nightmare comes out. So a little bit of a lapse in judgment from Canton, like Ursa being way too aggressive, without really the rest of his team behind him at all. It's going to be a smoke over at top for Power Friendship. Maybe they can find something inside the jungle. Enough will keep the push in through bottom where that last remaining tier 2 tower is. I don't know if Power Friendship can find anything here. Maybe they just get a tier 1 tower. Canton may feel like defending that one though, especially when Ursa's up. Looks like it's a little bit too late. The tier 1 tower is already dead. This falls a little bit too quickly to Templar Assassin's Desolator. But Canton, they don't really seem like they want to let another tower fall. Diffusal rather should be the next item for Ursa. And Power Friendship, they're going to be putting some pressure onto the tier 2. Feeling like they have to get more of these towers off that map. PMA going forward. Ooh, wanted to get the Nightmare onto the Turk, but nice blink out before that can happen. It's going to force Power Friendship back. Wilferzu going for the Ancients, and that might be a really bad spot for him. They're going to start with the OP, the RP, the Boundless Strike, keeping him right in place. Shadow Blade used by Lina, and Wukong's going to be up on the trees. LSA is going to break them. He's going to be stunned for a very long time. The damage is there. Just a little bit unlucky there. Jericho breaking those trees, stunning the Wukong for a while. Now he's going to pick up the Templar Assassin. They're trying to work through the Refraction. Chaotic Offering dropped on the 2. Genghis about to fall. One more hit from PMA will do it. Can they actually get it? He's going to blink out. He's managing to stay alive. Is there anybody with the... Oh, come on. Enough wants to throw out that overwhelming odds, but he's not going to die through the Fatal Bonds. Now the Turk has to try to make his way out. Jericho has full mana. LSA is going to hit. There's the Dragon Slay. 17 charges on the Bloodstone already. As the Turk goes into... Yeah, they get the Sentry Ward on him, and he's dead now. 18 Bloodstone charges on Lina. This could get out of control. I mean, she's just not really been taken care of at all. She has so much mana regen. If she dies, her team is going to heal up so much. They just have to work on keeping Wilferzu alive, and maybe he needs to work on a BKB. I don't know. He needs a little bit... I think it's just better positioning, honestly. That'll keep him alive against Power of Friendship. He keeps getting caught out. He's waiting in the trees, thinking that he can go on the Gigan, who doesn't know that he's there. Wilferzu, almost like he has the sense that somebody's going to be making their way over. He could blink forward. He sees he can go for the camp. Oh, just misses it. But he will farm the camp. Bottom lane push can still go on. Enough. He's got Blink Dagger, Blade Mail. It looks like he wants to go for the Shadow Blade next. So much mobility for him. Invis Rune now. Probably for the Lina. Come on, man. Just start getting those Fiery Soul stacks up. You've got the Bloodstone. It's fine. Tier 2 tower nearly dead. Ooh, they could catch out Zaturk. That would be a great kill for them to get. But it's also very difficult. Cake Offering still dead for, or still down for another 55 seconds. So yeah, it's just really difficult to go for that. Zaturk. He's pretty safe to go through his own jungle right now, especially with Conko right next to him. Diffusal Blade now picked up for Ursa. It's a nice little item for him. Canton High School seem a little bit, uncertain about what they want to end up doing. Roshan is available, and I don't know if Power of Friendship are going to let this go for free. They still have RP, Wukong's command available. Could definitely catch out Canton. Wolferzu, an arcane rune for anybody to pick up. Don't know if Power of Friendship are going to let this go, but don't know if they have any choice. The Turk will start to go over towards the pit. They'll see Ursa in there, but exactly what can they do against this? Maybe steal it? Oh, maybe they do. They pick up the Roshan and they get the Aegis on the TA. Now the Turk, this actually is a really good fight from Power of Friendship. They've got so much damage with the Empower of Gigan. LSA is still going to hurt from Lina, but the Wukong's command is out and the huge damage is there. Only Jericho is going to stay alive. Jakiriko, that's a new one. What a fight from Power of Friendship. The Turk just goes right into the pit and picks up the Aegis. I'm sorry I can't get too excited for you guys because it is like 12:30 here. So if I am too loud, then everybody's gonna hate me. And I don't want to like wake up children or whatever with how hype I am right now. But that was a pretty awesome play by Zaturk. He got the Aegis. The Aegis is already gone, but they got the cheese out of it too. Honestly, a fantastic play from Zaturk. Just going right in there with the BDP, as we like to say. And they might be able to pick up another kill here. Legion Men are going right into the lane. And here comes Templar Assassins. Zaturk ready to go. Boundless Strike on top of her head. And that's going to be another kill for Zaturk. This is what happens when a Templar Assassin really starts to get moving. The rest of her team is behind her. Tier 1 tower down. Zaturk moves in for the Tier 2. And right now, Canton High School need to find some kind of an answer for the Templar Assassin, but they just don't have it right now. Are they actually going to go high ground here? Lincoln Sphere, probably available for Templar Assassin at this point. Just needs a little bit more gold for it. And Power of Friendship, I think they might have just been handed a couple things on a platter. And Canton, after those couple of losses, they're just trying to get their feet under them, trying to get those items. I mean, they were seeming very confident. If you look at their items, I mean, sure, Lena's still at 20 charges on the Bloodstone, but if you look at their items, they wanted to be really aggressive. Silver Edge on Lena, Ursa went Diffusal Blade. These are not items that you pick up when you're behind. Shadow Blade on Legion Commander after the Shadow Blade. Here comes Ursa though, right for ODB. Wukong's command is going to get used, forcing them away. And Smax is going to be in the middle of this one. Gets missed by the LSA. Jericho does not want to get killed here. And here comes TA. Oh, the damage to the Lina. That's her first death with the Bloodstone. And she's going to respawn real quickly. Go right over towards the shrine. And they're going to try to get the kill on the TA. But there's an RP on the 2. And the damage should definitely be there. The Turk is going to manage to get away. But the Legion Commander will be able to get her duel out onto the Night Stalker. So, and just lucky that the Lina, well, taking advantage of the Lina respawning very quickly after that death with the Bloodstone. But still, these fights are going pretty well for Power of Friendship after that. Now it's down to just 15 charges on the Bloodstone. But Power of Friendship, those items keep on coming in. Hurricane Pike will be up soon for Templar Assassin. I mean, this is going to be unreal. And you could see how the Echo Saber was really making things difficult for Canton in that last fight during the Wukong's command. They kept getting slowed down. That's probably why the Lina ended up dying. It slowed so much. Difficult to get out of the Wukong's command. So Power of Friendship have put themselves in a really good place after those past couple of fights. I mean, they were starting to get behind due to Canton's very good lineup. But still, I would say that both these teams are difficult to break the high ground for. Smoke up for Canton. They want to try to find something out of this. And enough is going to go with the Shadow Blade, ready to go in. LSA doesn't hit onto anything. And oh, Templar Assassin manages to blink out Wukong's Commando. This is a great fight again for Power of Friendship. The chaotic offering gets dropped down. Templar Assassin will actually end up falling, but Canton High School are not coming out of this one very well at all. Only 2 supports are going to live, and that might actually end up being a full 5-man team. If the Ice Path hits on the 2, Konko goes through the trees with that flying Hunter in the Night, and the triple kill for Smacks. A full 5-man team wipe. Canton High School, they're just finding it so difficult to find their footing here at all. There's a tier 2 tower up in the top lane. I don't really see Power of Friendship pushing through anything with the Templar Assassin down, but well, Jericho tries to go for the tier 2. He goes into the trees, juking away from Conkle, but Gigan is here with the Shadow Blade. Looks in the trees trying to find Jericho, but he guesses in the wrong apartment. Now he's going to try to eat through them. And Jericho is still here. Boost of travel up in 20 seconds. Jericho's still here. Now he sees that Gigan is there. He might actually try to go for a kill if he were greedy. Shadow Blade's out. He's not going to go for anybody. So everybody ends up staying safe on both sides of the map. If we look at the graph and look at that gold change, now we're at about 6,000 in favor of Power of Friendship. XP is around 10,000, but those last couple of fights have been really devastating for Canton. What's our timer on Roshan? Minute and 50 seconds. And we're gonna have a disconnect. Man, that's really rough. I guess it gives us a chance to look at our bigger picture on items. Can we? Yeah, we can actually look at all of our items here. So of course, we have the Solar Crest on Night Stalker. Couple of Shadow Blades. Got a Lincoln's on a few here as well. So it'll be even more difficult for the Bane to do well in these fights. That's probably why Canton haven't been doing as well in these last few engagements. Just a couple of Lincolns. Alright, so we are ready to go with this one once again. Sorry about these delays, guys. But the tier 2 tower did get taken, so there's no outer towers remaining on Power of Friendship side. But still, I mean, with as good as the Turk has been doing this game, and he even has his Hurricane lance being delivered to him. Hurricane Pike, wow. Did I mention that I'm tired, guys? Hurricane Pike being delivered to him on the courier. Should be looking pretty good here. Probably shouldn't be worried about the chaotic offering as much anymore. As long as it's not the Legion Commander taking him out, he should be fine. And even then, he has a huge amount of damage. So we're still moving through here. We've got one outer tower up on the top lane for Canton High School to defend. Nothing on the Power of Friendship side, just the tier 3 towers at this point. But like I said, both teams, they have pretty passable high ground between overwhelming odds, the chaotic offering for Canton, and then you've got Macropire, RP, Wukong's Command for Power of Friendship. It's really difficult to break the high ground here. So it's probably going to have to come off of a team fight. Double damage rune now spawning here. Nobody going for it. Smacks can go pick it up. So Turk is ready to get aggressive. And Wolf for Zoo, he might put himself in a really bad position. He is in vision here. There's no minion. Oh, there's the RP right on top of him. And So Turk has a lot of damage for him, still doing it through the Enrage, and as soon as that's over, he is going to fall. Gigan comes in with a kill secure. I mean, he spent the RP for it, so he may as well take it, right? Ursa kill, very strong, very good for Power Friendship to have, and they'll probably use that to push up the high ground. Now, Lena is split pushing on the other side of the map, but I don't really see her doing the same amount of damage to a tier 3 as a team is over here. I mean, she's not a Templar Assassin, doesn't have a Desolator. And I don't think that Ursa wants to buy back here. PMA, he's going to get skewered back into a lot of pain. He has the Glimmer Cape to try to get out, but the Wukong's Command and the Boundless Strike are going to be popped there to secure themselves a tier 3 tower. Meanwhile, over at the top lane, Jericho's been forced away from the towers by Jakiro, and that's going to be Wilfrezu getting into the fight after the melee Rex is already down. Duel gets used. Konko is going to die. Gems on the ground. That's as soon as he's picked it up pretty much. But Power of Friendship get their first main racks of the game. And can Smacks actually pick up somebody here? What's his vision like? He doesn't see Lena there. He's just going to jump back into the lane. Didn't decide to pursue that at all. And with that, Canton decide that they want to try to go for Roshan, but that's not going to be up for another minute. Just a bit unlucky there. 10 charges left on Lena's Bloodstone. There was a time where that was at 20. Power Friendship just have to make sure that their lanes are pushed out enough, but they've got a pretty good handle on this match. And it's turning out to be pretty easy for them to push these towers in, especially if they can get one key kill like that Ursa in the last one. They get Templar Assassin slamming on a tower. Get a lot going for themselves there. Enough is still making his way around with the Shadow Blade, but can he actually kill off the Turk here? Blade Mail will make things a little bit easier for him. I don't know if Enough really wants to do this. Well, they already took a tier 3 tower, so he'll do a little bit of damage to a shrine. That's as far as he'll go. Roshan's still not up for another 5 seconds. Canton put themselves in a pretty good position for it. But again, Satyr could go in for another steal, which basically turned this game on its head. Roshan is up, and Power Friendship know all about it. They're going to smoke and go. We'll use the darkness. Templar Assassin's going to go right for Roshan. And Canton, they're maybe grouping up for a smoke, but they're going to arrive way too late. I mean, that Roshan is already dead. Aegis now picked up by Smacks. Cheese on the ground. And Templar Assassin is going straight dataless. Even puts the Lincolns in the backpack in lieu of the cheese. Looks like they're going to... Wow. ODB. I mean, he seems really fond of that Jakiro taunt, and I kind of have to admit I am as well. Alright. So 36 minutes in, Power Friendship, they'll be pushing in through the top lane. Canton, they need to make sure these lanes are pushed out. They want to try to focus on bottom a little bit because there is a very large creep wave there. Never forget the creep battles. Power Friendship ready to go in on the tier 2 tower. Still has some backdoor protection, but Templar Assassin managed to take that out. And now it's on to the tier 3s. Only a ranged racks remaining in the mid lane. These should actually fall very quickly. Zaturk still has the cheese available, and Smacks has the Aegis. This is falling way too quickly, and they're not even really going to defend it too much at all. Jericho ready to go in. Wukong's command gets used, and they really can't fight here at all. The area control from Power Friendship is way too good, and there's going to be the skewer. Not even an RP used. Right back into Wukong's command. Ursa gets in. There's a Chaotic Offering drop down. Gigan getting taken quite low, but they're going to take care of the Golem quite quickly. And that LSA is again not really hitting. Looking for a good RP from Gigan, but where's the Blink Dagger? It is off cooldown. Ursa goes forward. They're going to try to turn things around, and he's just completely dead. Gets silenced by the Night Stalker, Crippling Fear. And Power Friendship take another kill out of this one, and these two don't have buybacks. Ranged racks will fall. Ranged racks in mid will fall. Most likely. I mean, Night Stalker wants to get aggressive. These are going to just go down so quickly. And they'll probably start thinking about the tier 3 at bottom, looking for the Megas, trying to get the win here. Power Friendship, they smell their place in the grand final. They might send Canton down to the bottom bracket. Smacks is getting quite low. He's at 30 seconds cooldown on the Wukong's command. He's going to walk into the upheaval. That's not really the best place for him. Looking for a Laguna Blade onto him. And well, it looks like it's not really going to do too much damage to him. Liege Commander is going to buy back. The 1-Rax is going to fall. Zaturk is going to go for the second. Aegis has already been used. Well, it just now gets used on Smacks. And they want to try to go for Zaturk. But he eats the cheese. Nom nom nom. And look at that damage. LSA is going to miss. They still want to try to chase down Zaturk, but Smacks is going to... The rest of the team is going for the Megas. They take the Megas. And now Canton is just looking at their base, and they're going to call it. Yeah. I was kind of thinking along those lines. It's going to be it. So, Power of Friendship... I mean, going for Zaturk was kind of a last-ditch effort. Power of Friendship are going to move on to the grand final. Your first grand finalist in the HSL playoff series here. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to them. And I look forward to seeing what they can do in the grand final. And also Canton, they showed us some amazing matches tonight. And they'll be going down to the lower bracket to face the winner of another match down there. So thank you for watching tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we have even more amazing matches for the HSL coming up this week, but we also have the TI Open qualifiers coming up as well. So make sure you follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PythianLegume, so you can get in on that action. And also my Twitter also helps at PythianLegume. If you're on the twitch.tv channel right now for HSL, you'll see that up in the top right corner. But thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate you showing your support for these teams. And I hope to see you again soon in the HSL. But for now, good night, and as always, cheers.